Hi and hello, my friends. As expected, I think we can expect something different also. And I want to thank you for bearing with me all this while I have been helping and trying my best to encourage the students who are in the high school level to take advantage of this lockdown period and spend your time fruitfully. And that has been my effort. And remember, uh, I cannot say I am the master of all this. It's just that oh, I know something and I want to share with you. So in that way, you try to take the uh, learning part from me, and you will find better teachers and whatever. But then, uh, as we say, everybody has their own opinions, and on those opinions and views we all live. And I'm not a master of all these things, so I cannot say that I am doing a part. That's all. And that effort, as a human being, in different means we can do for our environment, for our society, or do something for cleanliness, awareness, so that not only the educated or the elderly, but also the young children also learn some values. And there are so many ways by which many of us are doing it, whether it can be in the helping your parents in the garden, or looking after your brothers and sisters at home, or doing the dishes, or helping even in the cooking. Some of you enjoy that. I really enjoy cooking, and I actually I cook for myself, and so I like to eat that tasty food and with all this masalas and gravy and all. So since I enjoy and like food, I tend to cook myself, and I tell myself that I'm the best cook. And that can be said by many of us, that our wife or our husband or someone is the best cook. Anyway, beside the point where we are going to talk to you about is that let's try to learn, and let's give an effort so that others also can learn. And I hope as these days are going by and the new month has started, and still we haven't heard any clear instructions from our state government, or maybe we might follow the central laws, or we might even come back and say we'll follow certain things regarding the state laws. It can happen. We can keep our options always open, because the time doesn't wait. The time keeps on running very fast. Imagine, half the year has gone, and it was this time of the year we used to have summer vacations, and we used to be out at home, or maybe some of us will be writing exams in the northeast. We'll be writing our exams and waiting for the summer vacations to start, or so many other plans could have been there during this period of time. But now we cannot have that. Imagine, we have not gone to school, and some of us have not even finished one chapter also. So that is a big challenge for you children and for every one of us, that yes, you are missing very important periods of time of your life, but then you need to learn certain things for the future which is coming to you. So take advantage, and today I'm going to speak to you for class 7 about pressure. About no, sorry, class 7, I'm sorry, not about pressure, that is for class 8 I'm talking about. But today for class 7 I will talk to you on the on the chapter climate and adaptation. Climate and adaptation. Uh, our world, our environment is covered with a very beautiful atmosphere. And this beautiful atmosphere, as progress, development has taken, it has got a lot of changes. And these changes, are bringing new things for scientists, for meteorologists, and for farmers, and everyone. It's bringing a new challenges, because what is happening that our atmosphere, due to the rapid global warming, it is going through a lot of change, that we find different types of weather. Maybe climate, it might not have affected. In the long run, it is going to affect. So when the scientists or the meteorologists, they say some of the areas in India will have lesser water level, they're talking sense. Because slowly, gradually, when the graph for climate is taken, remember, to call it a climate, the definition of climate is that the weather pattern taken on a long period of time, then only it says 25 years, approximately 25 years. Within these 25 years, the weather pattern is checked, and then only they name the thing as climate. Now, weather is the daily, the temperature change, the humidity changes, the vapors change, and it is also in the wind speed. All these are taken in account when we say weather, and it is for a short period of time. This weather condition is a short period of time. Within a 1 day period, you can see varieties of activities coming down from the atmosphere. And some of you who have gone to Shillong, you will know that many of the people, local peoples in Shillong, they have always carry bag with them. And in their bag, one of the things that will always be with them is umbrella. Because they know that in the morning there's a bright, beautiful sunshine. By afternoon, it will rain. And after it rains, again there will be a long and beautiful period of sunshine in the evening. And the sun goes down and the sky is clear again. But during a day period, 3 different changes. That is called weather. Okay. Now, who collects the data? Who collects the data of weather or even for climate? If you are interested to be one day sitting in this kind of observatories where they collect data and study the figures, percentage of humidity, rainfall, and wind speed, and ultraviolet rays which are falling, all those minute things, I think you need to study meteorologist to become a meteorologist. Meteorology is the subject, and the meteorologist is the the qualification to predict and to put out the data, whether it is of weather or of climate. So it's a good option in life, very good option. Remember last time I was talking to you about Gwalpara. Gwalpara. So there was one student of mine, from Shillong, a long time back. That is around 10 years back to 15 years back. He was from Karbi Anglong, and while we were studying, while we were teaching him, this guy was a very simple and gentle, and these are the characteristics of Karbi people. They are very, very simple people, and very simple and very nice to mingle and talk with them. So this guy, he watched that Gwalpara video, and you know what he commented to me? His name is Chiraibe. So he commented to me, sir, nice to hear about Gwalpara. Then he went on to tell me that he is now working as an associate project director. So he had to come to Gwalpara for his projects, for his office, that is in Government of Assam department. So he was planning to come to Gwalpara, but because of the lockdown, he could not come. But now he says, I came to know so many things about Gwalpara. Okay, I said, Chirebe, thank you very much. He said, welcome, sir. So that way, we connect and we learn, and sometimes we have this kind of conversation and comments from some of my students of the places where I worked, and they send these beautiful comments. Thank you very much for your support, and subscribe to my channel that you have done, and thank you very much for being with me as we go again through this class period. So now students, so we have two different types of patterns of our atmosphere which changes and brings us weather and climate. When you come to class 10, even in class 10, the same subject is being taught about weather and climate, and we teach them in alternative alternative geography. The additional subject we teach on this weather, precipitation, rainfall, climate, and all humidity and all these things. We teach them again that in that class 10, and even in class 9 this subject is being taught. So now we know 25 years it takes for the weather to be considered as a climate. It's a long period of time. Then now, what are the factors which affect our weather of a place? Now we live very close to Bhutan. Bhutan is maybe 20 odd kilometers from here, and we are right on the foothills of it. Just look at the distance from the mountains, and imagine you can see the clouds which are coming from the southwest direction. They come from the southwest direction, and if you stand in your place and place yourself looking to the southwest direction, you will find in the real map that you are towards Bangladesh, and then Bay of Bengal. That is the ocean which is there. The Bay of Bengal is. So as soon as the clouds build up there and they condense up in the sky, they start blowing towards Bhutan hills, and when they come to the higher altitude, higher height from the sea level, now where we are in Assam, it is only 57 meters above sea level. 57 meters above, 57 point something it might be. How did I come to know? One thing, when you go, wherever you go, you try to look at the places and see and read what all things are written there. And many of you have gone to the railway station. And when you go to the railway station, the big yellow board which is given, the signboard, they write the names of the station there, and in small letters down there, they will always write the altitude of the railway station. Altitude. From that you can figure out, as you climb towards Bhutan from Barpeta Road railway station, you will come to figure out from the station to the hills how high slowly it starts to climb. That is one of the reasons. The factors that affect the weather of a place is how low we are from the sea level, in the sea level, and how high we are above the sea level. And as you go higher and higher, naturally the weather tends to change. The next is temperature. The factors that affect the weather of a place is temperature. Why do I say that? Is that as the temperature increases, that means the summer period, as the temperature increases, the droplets of water, it cannot hold up in the sky as the temperature increases. So hot areas, you will not find water, dew in the night, because it's so warm that it cannot hold the small tiny drops of water vapor. So one reason you also learn to understand, if the temperature of a place, like right now, some of the parts in India, they're experiencing very hot summer, 45, 47, that is real high, blistering hot. And in our Adivasi we say, Kar Dhub. Have you heard that? Kar Dhub. It is very hot. 55, 45, 47. That is terrible heat. And they are experiencing. But in Assam we are not experiencing. And if you go down upper into the northeastern region, you will find that the temperature there is so pleasant. Now, next factor is humidity. Humidity is the capacity of the water vapor holding up in the sky, in the air. How much water vapor is in the air? Okay. Some of you have gone to Bombay. Now, Bombay's humidity is very high because of the sea, which is very close to it. Kolkata's humidity is very high because of the Hooghly River and the Bay of Bengal very close to it. Now, if you go to Guwahati, the humidity level is very high because it is next to Brahmaputra. See, wherever there is water level, water ponds or lakes and all those kind of things, in that area, the humidity automatically increases because a lot of evaporation takes place from these lakes and hills. Hills and ponds and all these kind of things. Then we know what is rainfall. Rainfall is all the liquid form of water or liquid form of air which falls down from the sky. Liquid form. It can because those small water vapors have become droplets. In the air they combined each other, because in the air not only vapor is there, there's dust and other particles are there which really joins the small water droplets into small droplets, and it comes down as rain. Now, next factors that affect the weather of a place is how much snow falls in that area, or you can also say the zone in which we live, in the zone where we live, because we are living almost on the 23rd point some degree latitude. So if you look at the weather pattern of these areas which are having similar type of vegetation, rainfall, elevation from the sea level, and maybe temperature, you will find in this area everywhere they will have a similar type of weather. They will have a similar type, a very similar type of weather. So some of the north, you will not find many Thai people from Thailand, China, and all these countries, South Asian countries. They don't tend to come to our side of the world, because we have Manas National Park here, but I hardly see Chinese and people from the south, west, east coming to visit this part of the world. Because why? Their vegetation, their looks of the people, their culture and their food habits And it's very much similar, because they almost basically belong from the Mongolian race. So uh, this part of the world is similar to that part of the world, and they also eat the same rice that we eat, because they grow rice there in large quantity, and because it is having the similar type of rainfall, humidity, temperature, elevation or altitude, how high it is from the sea level, that is considered as weather. That are the factors which make our weather. I happened to one day go to Shillong from Guwahati, and when we were going up into Guwahati, all the windows were closed and it was an AC vehicle. So when we sat inside, we did not realize that when we reached Shillong, we were surprised that the temperature which was inside the AC vehicle and outside was very much similar. In fact, it was much colder in Shillong. When you open the windows of the vehicle, it became much cooler there. So AC which was in the vehicle was nothing compared to what it was experiencing, people are experiencing in Shillong. And from Guwahati, if you go to Shillong, it is just 100 odd kilometers, maybe. But then it climbs up. The sea level goes higher and higher. The altitude goes higher and higher, and it reaches almost to 2000 plus meters above sea level. So it is sudden climb. Sudden climb. You climb, you go to Jorabad, and from Jorabad you start slowly, gradually climbing, and suddenly you find an abrupt climb. Suddenly it climbs up, and immediately you will switch on off your ACs in the vehicle, because outside temperature is much better than inside an AC car. Now that is just because of the altitude, how high it went away from the sea level, not because of the time or not because of other things matter. It's just because of that. There are certainly many things which really affect the weather of the place, and we are experiencing so many. Recently we had Amphan, which was so devastating and so means it was terrible for the people who went through it. And still now they are building their lives. Maybe they are picking up the things which are left here and there, blown away, destroyed. And we can see this was not part of the climate also. This was a sudden creation, because global warming and other factors are making our atmosphere and the troposphere in such a bad shape that many things which are coming down as rain or hail or acid or whatever from the sky is causing a lot of concern for the scientists and the meteorologists and those who go travel in the space. They send so many types of messages, and means they see what is going to happen in certain part of the world. And recently I read that near in the Indian Ocean, in the southern hemisphere, in the Indian Ocean, the tectonic plates which are inside the sea, tectonic plates are going to shift. Shift. Tectonic plates, I think you have learned tectonic plates, that is going to shift. And when it shifts, the impact of the movement of the water will again might create tsunami. Terrible. And imagine it is southern in the southern hemisphere, and some of the countries in the southern hemisphere will also get affected. So that is a terrible sign. And I know that we don't want it to happen. But then, these are interesting subjects. Some of you in the future might say, let me study this. Let me become a meteorologist. And it's a great opportunity, a great option if you choose to become a meteorologist. Because now you'll be studying these different patterns of changes which is affecting everybody's life. Everybody's life. Recently we have the locust, and now we are having this changes. Now, so students, friends, and everybody, let's be concerned about our environment, our troposphere. That is the area where the rain, clouds, and other changes takes place in our troposphere. Let's be worried about this, so that though the life has changed due to corona, it might come back to a little bit of normalcy soon. And we can be a help to that by staying, living, looking after our environment, and helping the world to breathe again. Oh, I breathe. Some of you have seen the news. I breathe. So it's not that, okay? So students, thank you very much. And I'm sorry, I try to be online, but I need a lot of subscribers. Then only I can be online. That is one of the definitions which have been given uh, by the company through which we are making this YouTube. So they have some rules and regulations that certain things, it needs certain things. So don't be disappointed, but this is a journey that we all should make, and let's learn through our journey. Thank you very much, and हंसते रहो, मुस्कुराते रहो. Thank you.